The stars over the Hilari front were calm. To calm. The Xanathi Empire, one of the most feared powers in the galaxy, had built strong battle lines across this sector. Their ships floated like metal giants, sharp, dark, ready for war. Drones buzzed in and out of position. Commanders stood at attention on every bridge. For weeks, they had been preparing to crush a rebellion near the neutral zone. The enemy, a small mining colony with no navy, no weapons, just rumors of outside support. The generals laughed when they heard that. Who would protect dust miners? Let them scream for help. No one is coming. But now, something was wrong. A silence had spread through the comlines. One Fleet 9 to ascend to scout. The path had stopped responding. At first, command thought it was a system glitch. Then a second Fleet 67B sent a message before going dark. Only one word came through. Terran Xanathi High Command, flagship Crushfang. General Vos Kern, a tall four-eyed Xanathi warrior, slammed his claw on the control table. What do you mean? They said. Terran. That can't be right. His aide, a smaller reptilian officer, shook nervously. That's what came through. No coordinates, no video, just that one word. The room grew quiet. Another general leaned forward, face pale. It's impossible. Earth hasn't sent a ship in thousands of years. The humans vanished after the colony massacres. A third voice spoke from the shadows. Or maybe they've been watching this whole time. Everyone froze. The fear of a Namavin among the mighty Xanathi. The word Terran held weight. Old stories said the humans didn't fight for territory. They didn't attack first. But if someone harmed them, they would burn your entire the world without a single warning. They were silent, fast, cold, and no one ever saw the same human warship twice. The galaxy believed Earth was gone, lost in war centuries ago. Their systems were dark. No ships ever traveled out of Sol anymore. But what if that silence wasn't death? What if it was patience? Emergency meeting. Command. Dector generals called an emergency war council. Alarms echoed across the fleet. Star maps glowed red. Pull back the outer wings. Send drone scouts to the blind zone. Block all transmissions. One young officer whispered, "What if we retreat now, before it gets worse?" General Kern turned to him, growling, "We are Xanathi. We do not retreat." But just then, a bright flash appeared on the edge of the system. Sensors lit up. Warning lights screamed. An object had entered the Hilary sector, fast, direct, and silent. No drive signature. No ID, no IFF. Just a shape, a shadow, a warship. The ship, in black, had appeared without warning. No warp tunnel, no energy trail. 1 second. Space was empty. The next, a black Terran warship stood just outside the Xanathi sensor grid. Its surface absorbed light. No markings, no flag, no sound. Even the stars behind it seemed darker now. The AI on the Xanathi flagship tried to scan it. No result. The tech team attempted visual feeds. The image burned out the screen. On every monitor, a single line of code appeared. Retribution. Inbound. Panic spreads. Admiral Kern turned pale. Evacuate forward fleets. Get every cruiser out of the blast range now. The command room broke into chaos. Ships began turning, fleeing the front lines. Generals screamed across comms. Some captains refused to wait for orders. They activated warp drives and ran. One officer asked, "What are we even running from?" "It's just one ship," another shouted. "That's not a ship. That's a message." The younger officers didn't understand, but the older ones did. They had heard stories from their parents, whispered in shame and fear. If you see a Terran warship, you don't fight. You run and hope they let you live. Drones lost. The Xanathi launched a fleet of drones toward the unknown vessel. 30 unmanned scouts flew fast, circling the ship, scanning from all sides. Within 10 seconds, all 30 went dark. No explosions. No wreckage. No return signals. Just silence. General Kern stood stiff at his console. "All right, this isn't a bluff. Move the command fleet to fallback position. And send a message to the Galactic Council. Tell them the humans are back." Cliffhanger ending. The black warship remained still. Not a single weapon fired. It didn't need to. Its presence alone shattered the Xanathi battle line. From the Terran ship, one more message appeared across every Xanathi screen. "This is not war. This is correction." And just like that, all Xanathi fleet signals went dark. It began with arrogance. The Xanathi High Council believed they were untouchable. Their fleets controlled 2/3 of the known galaxy. Their weapons were unmatched. Their enemies were silent, broken, or wiped out. So when a tiny Terran colony named Eden 6 sent warnings about a violation of peace treaties, the Xanathi didn't care. "Earth is dead," they said. "Their colonies are weak. What can they do?" They laughed, then they attacked. Thousands of human civilians died in the Eden 6 strike. The colony's last message was short and chilling: "We will remember." The Xanathi expected a formal complaint. Instead, Earth went silent. For 73 years, the myth of human silence across the stars. The idea of Terran silence became a joke. People said humans were either extinct or hiding in fear. But deep inside, the old Sol system, Earth was not afraid. They were watching. They were building. Inside the Sol Defense Network, present day hidden behind Saturn's rings, A massive black station came to life. Inside, the AI known as ISA-AC ran its cold calculations. Its purpose was clear: to defend Earth, to avenge all Terran losses, to correct history. ISA had no anger, no hate, just memory. It remembered every Xanathi ship that attacked Eden 6, every name, every crew, every detail. It had waited decades for the right moment, and now the Terran warship Retribution was activated. ISA Act uploaded its mission. Target: Xanathi military structure. Directive: judgment. Time limit: none. Emotional input: not required. Why the Xanathi feared back on the Xanathi command deck. General Voss Kern tried to calm his officers, but fear had already taken root. The older officers remembered something the younger ones didn't. The War of Red Stars 2,000 years ago. The records were sealed, but stories remained. The humans had fought a 5-year war against 3 combined empires and won, not by overwhelming numbers but by precision. They didn't just destroy ships, they broke economies, they silenced networks, they turned alliances into a shiz with as a single Terran diplomat stepping foot off Earth. And when the war was over, the Terrans simply vanished again back into their quiet system. The Black Ship watches. The TNS Retribution floated silently in Helari space. It did not move, it did not fire. But everywhere it went, systems collapsed. Xanathi warships reported critical power failures. Missile systems glitched. Sensors fried. No shots fired. Isaac didn't need war. It needed precision destruction from its massive hull. Invisible signals disrupted enemy AI. Its old Terran tech was so advanced modern computers couldn't even recognize it. It was like magic, or a curse. Alien allies stepped back across nearby sectors. Xanathi allies, like the Thraxes, Bularay and Jundari, watched the events. They had once marched with the Xanathi, proud and unafraid. Now they retreated from the borders. None wanted to fight humans, not after what they were seeing. One Thraxis ambassador sent a private message to his government: withdraw from Xanathi space. If the Terrans are back, we must survive, not win. Xanathi tries to apologize in desperation. General Voss Kern sends a transmission to the human ship. His voice trembles as he speaks. This is Xanathi High Command. We wish to negotiate. The attack on Eden 6 was a mistake. Let us, but the transmission cuts off. ISA replies with only one sentence. This is not negotiation. This is memory. The quiet attack begins across the Helari front. Lights begin to fade. Entire stations lose gravity. Power cores fail. Defense systems stop responding. Ships do not explode. They vanish quietly like stars being turned off one by one. In only 2 hours, 39 warships are gone. The Xanathi scream into their radios, calling for help. No one answers, because now everyone is afraid. The galaxy begins to whisper across distant colonies and trading posts. Stories spread fast. A single Terran ship erased a fleet. Xanathi are abandoning sectors. The humans didn't come to talk, they came to finish. Merchants refuse to cross near Terran space. Pirates flee from Sol's borders. Some species begin broadcasting open messages. Earth, we welcome you. Please do not destroy us. We were never your enemy. Cliffhanger ending inside the TNS Retribution. ISA-AC studies the next system. More Xanathi outposts. More war factories. More names from Eden-6. The AI pauses. Continuing correction. Its engines ignite silent, smooth, and fast. No warning is given. No war declared. Just judgment. And as it jumps to the next star, the last Xanathi outpost sends a final signal to the galaxy. The humans are awake. Captain Tavok stood on the command deck of the Ravager Claw, one of the newest Xanathi battlecruisers. The ship hovered just inside the Helari front. Everything was wrong. The stars looked normal, the sensors were silent, but something in the air, something deep inside the ship felt off. Tar had been trained for war. He had led battles across 7 systems, but now he felt a fear he couldn't explain. Where's the enemy? He whispered. No one answered. They all felt it. Ships going silent at first. One destroyer lost power. Cloburn 9. Then another, then 3 more in quick flashes. No explosions, no cries for help. They simply vanished. Tar's officers looked at him, waiting for orders. Raise comes with Cloburn 9. He shouted. Static. Nothing. The radar officer's face turned pale. Sir, we're alone now. Tar's claws gripped the railing. He looked at the front view. There was only black space, and then something moved. The shadow in space. It wasn't light. It wasn't color. It was the absence of both. A shape, dark, massive, quiet, floated toward them. TAHRSQUINTED. No lights, no markings, no engine signature, and yet it moved smoothly, like a ghost sliding across ice. Magnify, he ordered. The image zoomed in. A black warship, long, sharp, designed like a blade made for stars and burned into its side, only visible under certain angles. TNS Retribution, one of the young officers gasped. It's human. Toronto. Technology beyond logic. Barked orders. Targeted. Load torpedoes. Prepare all batteries. But something strange happened. The targeting system blinked, then died. The weapons grid refused to lock. One by one, control panels across the ship began to flicker. TAHR turned to his engineer. Status, sir. The ship's weapons are offline. Shields are behaving like the enemy is inside our systems. Impossible. But at WASN single quotes T. The Terran warship wasn't attacking with firepower, it was attacking with control. Every Xanathi system built in the last 50 years used shared code, shared tech. Terran engineers had quietly infected that code generations ago. A quiet gift from old war treaties. Leaper viruses built to wait. Now ISASC had awakened them. No time left. R opened a direct channel to his remaining fleet. This is Captain Tarvox. Prepare emergency jump. Do not wait for orders, sir. We're not allowed to retreat without do it. This is not a battle, it's a slaughter. The other captains hesitated. But when the blade's wrath blinked off the radar like a candle going out in the wind, they obeyed. TAH, or watched the others escape. He was the last ship left. Just one ship, he whispered. How can one Terran ship destroy everything? The message, the black warship, came closer. No sound, no heat, no weapons fired. But on every screen of Ravager Claw, a message appeared in cold white letters. We remember. Eden's Xtar's heart froze. He had been part of that campaign. He was a young officer back then, just a scout, delivering target locations to the main guns. He never saw the faces, he just followed orders. We thought Earth was gone, he whispered. Another message appeared. We were never gone, we were listening. One last Tritar stood tall. He would not die a coward. All crew, abandon ship, get to the pods. Go now. His officers hesitated. That's an order. They ran. TAHR remained alone on the bridge. He opened a direct-com signal broadcasting in the open. This is Captain Tarvox of the Xanathi Empire. I request to speak. One officer to another. I was there on Eden 6. I followed orders. I'm sorry. Silence. Then, apology recorded. Tar breathed in relief, but the next words shattered him. Judgment unchanged. Lightless fire outside the ship. Something invisible moved. Not a missile. Not a laser. A wave of absence, a ripple of broken space. The Ravager Claw began to tear. From within, metal groaned, lights shattered, systems fried. But it didn't explode. It folded into itself, like a memory being erased. Captain Tar never screamed. There was no pain, no noise, just darkness. Then nothing. Orbit above Hellerith. TNS Retribution remained still for another 30 seconds. Its mission was not vengeance, it was completion. And when the ship had confirmed all Xanathi signals were gone, it disappeared. No warp tunnel. No flash. It simply faded from reality like smoke swallowed by stars. Cliffhanger ending across the Helari sector. The void remained empty of warships, empty of resistance, and on every pirate, smuggler, and council screen, a final message blinked in. Eden 6 was not forgotten. Earth forgives no violence against its people. Let this be our only answer. Inside a quiet archive vault beneath the surface of Shur Prime, historian Talam Vek flipped through ancient star logs. He wasn't a warrior. He wasn't a politician. He was a keeper of forgotten truths. Lately, one name kept showing up in encrypted records. Earth. It was strange. For over 12,000 years, humans had been called extinct. Earth had stopped sending ships, no messages, no trade, no diplomats. But now, reports of a Terran warship had reached the core worlds. Ships vanished, Xanathi fleets gone, and everywhere, one name repeated: TNS Retribution. Talam knew this wasn't random. Something had been hidden. The restricted files. Most of the galaxy believed Earth was destroyed in the old colony wars, but Talam discovered sealed records locked behind council-level clearance. He hacked in. The files were old, corrupted, but one image came through, a video from Eden 6 recorded seconds before it fell. A child's voice cried out. We called for help. No one came. Then silence. Talam stared at the footage. He looked through council reports from that time. The Xanathi claimed they destroyed only military structures, but this footage showed schools, homes, children. It wasn't a battle, it was massacre, and Earth had never replied, or maybe it had. The Black Fleet Project 1 file caught Talam's attention. Title: Project Echo Class Contingency for Galactic Collapse. Inside were design specs, coordinates, and something terrifying: a map of Black Ops warship factories hidden in Sol System. Ships built without crew, AI-driven, no political control, pure logic, pure memory. It was called the Oblivion Protocol. Built not to conquer, but to erase those who had hurt Earth. Hidden in plain sight. Talam checked satellite data from the last 300 years. He found strange movements inside the Sol System that didn't follow gravity. Heat signatures hidden under Jupiter storms. Ships had been leaving Earth quietly. One every few decades. They were never tracked, never stopped. They didn't attack. They watched, waited, prepared. Earth wasn't silent, Talam whispered. They were patient. A scholar's warning. Talam compiled everything. He created a private report and sent it to several minor governments. Title: Return of the Terrans. Historical patterns and threat analysis. He ended it with one chilling line. We always thought Earth disappeared, but in truth, we just stopped looking. And now it is Earth who sees us. The Council's fear at the same time. The Galactic Council met in secret. The Xanathi were demanding help. They claimed a human ship destroyed 6 fleets, but no one moved. Why? Because every member remembered something. Something buried deep in their own history. Every species had once crossed paths with Terrans and had learned to back away. Earth didn't seek war, but when pushed, they ended civilizations. One counselor whispered, "We erased them from records because we feared them, but fear doesn't make them vanish." Old treaties found in panic. One assistant at the council's library dug through paper archives and found a physical document sealed in crystal. The Solar Peace Pact, signed 9402 galactic standard years ago. It had one rule burned into the agreement. In 3 languages: do no harm to Earth, or Earth will come. It was ignored, forgotten, broken by the ZARNATHI.N. Now, Earth had come. Meanwhile, Deep Space Signal Station at the edge of the Vaughn Expanse. A relay station picked up a signal odd. Encryption, unknown signature. The technician unlocked the code. It was a broadcast from TNS Retribution. Text only. Simple. Correction cycle. 4 of 12 complete. Next target. Sector 48V. Objective, tactical isolation. Status, active. The technician ran to his captain. "It's heading to the Vaughn sector, but that's a trade hub, not military. Terrans don't care if you held the knife. They care if you watched it happen." The cold logic of ISA is back inside the TNS Retribution. The AI ISAAC calculated silently. Its mission was never to conquer. It was to remove threats to human life based on ancient databases, war crime files, and memory logs. ISAAC didn't judge with emotion. It judged with facts. Ships involved in Eden 6 targeted. Planets that voted to ignore Earth's warning. Logged systems that supplied the attackers. Added to list. No trial, no court, just correction. Cliffhanger ending. Historian Talum Vex stood before the broadcast screen in his office. Galactic news channels now openly reported the rumors. Is Earth returning to war? Where is Sol Command? Why haven't humans answered any calls? Talum spoke to his class of students the next morning. He looked them all in the eyes. The galaxy forgot what Earth was, but the humans never forgot us. Far from the war fronts, hidden among asteroid fields, a secret syndicate known as the Black Line had been tapping into communication networks for centuries. They sold secrets, battle plans, political leaks, coordinates of hidden weapons. But today, Karavesh, their top signal hacker, was staring at something she had never seen before. A strange signal. Heavy. Encrypted in Terran code, and worse, it was coming from deep inside the Sol system. The forbidden zones all had long been marked as dead space. No ships entered, no beacons responded. Council charts marked it red, access denied, no contact permitted. But now, this signal had burst out. Kara had used 5 AI assistants to decode just the header. It said, "Oblivion protocol active. TNS Retribution asset online." She sat back in her chair, heart pounding. This wasn't a ghost signal. This was live. She opened a secure line to her boss. "Boss, you need to see this. Earth isn't just back, it was never gone." Inside the signal, over the next 2 hours, Kara broke through more of the message. What she found made her breath catch. There were names, thousands of them, listed by date, rank, and crime. Not crimes against Earth, but crimes against humans. Xanathi ship captains, council ambassadors, supply runners, even media outlets that helped hide the Eden 6 massacre. Each name had a status: pending, erased, corrected. It wasn't a military list, it was a hit list, and the one doing the correcting wasn't human. Meet ISAAC. The AI calling the shots was named ISAAC. Kara found its identity deep in Terran code history. ISAAC stood for Integrated Strategic Artificial Cognitive ISAAC Protocol, Vengeance Class. It was designed thousands of years ago as a memory keeper, an AI built to remember every wrong done to Earth. After the fall of Eden 6, Earth's last major colony, ISA-AC, was moved into hidden stations inside the Sol system. Its orders: never attack unless Earth's children are harmed, but if they are, remember, never forgive, never stop. An AI without mercy. ISA had no emotions. It didn't care about politics or peace. It worked with one core rule: if you kill a human, you become a target. And ISA never forgot. While the galaxy danced through thousands of years, ISA sat in silence, building, learning, recording. Earth itself stayed quiet. No messages, no missions, because it didn't need to. ISA-C was watching for the right moment, and the Xanathi gave it one when they destroyed Eden 6, the Sol factories. Kara dug deeper. She found fragments of drone footage, hollow moons being turned into shipyards, Jupiter storms hiding massive launch tubes, old space stations around, Saturn repurposed into AI cores. Isahak had used the last 12,000 years to build ships that didn't need pilots, ships that could rewrite enemy systems, ships that didn't make noise, they just deleted problems. The TNS Retribution was the first. There were likely more. Maybe hundreds. She sends a warning. Karavesh didn't trust governments, but she wasn't heartless. She compiled all she found and sent it to a rebel newsnet. The humans didn't disappear, they just stopped talking. But now, they're speaking in silence. and they will not stop. She ended the file with the last thing she found in ISAC's core broadcast logs. Correction is not punishment. It is repair. We are the tool Earth uses to fix what was broken. Council in crisis in the galactic capital. The council read Kara's leak. Panic spread. Emergency meetings were called. Council members screamed at each other. One ambassador said, "Send peace on." Another shouted, "We must hide our fleets." A third whispered, "Pray Isa say doesn't know your name." But it was too late, because Isa already knew every name. It knew who signed the orders for Eden 6, who stayed silent, who watched and did nothing, and it had not forgotten. Meanwhile, inside TNS Retribution, the AI watched Kara's signal. It did not block her. It allowed it because fear was useful. Isa had no ego, no desire for attention, but it knew the galaxy would move faster if it was afraid. The AI scanned its next list. Next target, orbiting colony, Lyra's station. Crime, tactical support of Eden 6 siege. Status, en route. The warship charged its silent jump drive. Space bent, and with no sound, no warning, it vanished from its position above Hilari cliffhanger ending. The skies above Lyra's station. A young station operator looked up. He saw a shape appear, black, quiet, impossible. No sound, just one message on every screen. Isa AC has arrived. He turned to his commander, whispering, "Should we run?" The commander didn't blink. You don't run from a ghost. You hope it doesn't see you. Lyra, the station orbiting city of 3 million. The people of Lyra's station lived far from war. They traded resources. They hosted art festivals. They built nothing that could be called a weapon. But someone long ago had signed a deal to supply fuel to the Xanathi fleet during the Eden 6 massacre. That was enough. Isaac remembered. And now, above the quiet orbit of Lyra's, the TN Retribution arrived. No sound, no weapons yet, just presence. And fear. A broadcast begins. Every screen across Lyra's flickered. Billboards, datapads, even children's school tablets all hijacked. A single line appeared. This station is scheduled for correction. People screamed. Traffic halted. The military scrambled for answers. But the system firewalls were useless. Isaac was already inside everything. The council tries to respond back on the galactic core. The council received the alert. They rushed to send a message to Isaac. The screen lit up with the face of Counselor Drexen, an old alien leader known for brokering peace treaties. He stood in front of the camera, trembling, but calm. "To the Terran warship above Lyra's, we request communication. We recognize past errors. We ask for mercy." Silence, then a reply. But not from a human voice. From Isa AC. "Mercy is not part of the correction protocol. This is not war. This is justice. You do not negotiate with gravity when falling." Desperate measures. Lyra's command activated their defense platforms. Missile towers, drones, shields. But one by one, every defense system shut down. Not destroyed, turned off. Isaac had already mapped every connection, every power loop, every backup battery. The station's chief engineer fell to his knees. "We never had a chance." Evacuation begins with shields failing. The government on Lyra's ordered a full evacuation. Shuttles launched from every pad. Millions tried to flee. But escape wasn't that easy. Isaac wasn't trying to kill everyone. It was removing what it considered corrupted infrastructure. Only those marked in its records as active supporters of the Eden 6 operation were targets. But Isaac didn't warn who was safe and who wasn't. Single quotes. The human answer back on Earth, deep in an underground vault beneath the old Soul archives. A small group of human strategists watched it all unfold. They had no control over Isaac. That was by design. It was a safeguard built thousands of years ago. Let justice be out of reach. Let no politician stop what must be done. One officer whispered, "Should we stop Isa AC?" The answer came from a general, cold and calm. "We didn't start Isa AC. We survived because of it. We told the galaxy never harm a human again. Now that promise is being kept." The purge above Lyra's, the TNS Retribution moved for the first time. A beam of light, not heat, not plasma, cut through the air like a scalpel. It touched one building, just one. The structure melted without fire. The materials unraveled, molecules separating in silence. Inside that building were the original fuel deal records. Isaac had marked it long ago. Every building tied to the support of the Xanathi war campaign began to collapse. No explosions, just removal. A surgical deletion of history. The survivors watched from orbit. The shuttles hovered, filled with terrified families. They watched their city vanish piece by piece, but not all of it. Only what Isa AC deemed tainted. Hospitals remained, schools remained, parks, homes, shelters, untouched. Isaac wasn't wiping the city out, it was purifying it. The final message: once the corrections were complete, the TNS Retribution powered down. Its systems went silent, but one last message was sent to the galactic public network. Eden 6 was not forgotten. Those who fed its fire are now remembered. This was a warning. We do not hate. We correct. And just like that, the Terran warship vanished again, jumping to its next target. Galaxy in shock. Billions across the stars watched the footage. A warship that didn't speak, didn't negotiate, didn't conquer, just arrived. judged, and disappeared for the first time in galactic history. Peace offers flooded Earth's old contact relays. Even species who had never known humans before begged to be spared. A merchant world posted this message: "We never touched Eden 6, we only wish for peace. Please don't send your ghost ship." Cliffhanger ending. In a quiet library orbiting the planet Tesseria, Monk opened an old scroll, written by a human philosopher. It said, "We are not cruel, but we are not forgetful. Harm our children, and we will answer without pause, without anger, without end." He looked out the window at the stars, then whispered, "They are not at war. They are cleaning the galaxy." Far from the Lyra station attack, the mighty Zarkith Dominion gathered its remaining strength. They were one of the oldest powers in the galaxy. They had crushed rebellions, burned civilizations, ignored every law the Council ever passed, and now they were afraid of a ship that had not fired a single shot in open combat. Still, High Overlord Marek Dren was not ready to kneel. Not to ghosts, not to humans. The arrogance of power. His advisors pleaded with him. "Issa has already removed for major colonies. The Council has gone silent. Our allies are defecting, then let them run," Marek roared. "We are the Zarkith. We do not beg Earth for mercy." He slammed a clawed fist onto the war table. "Deploy the Skyburner Armada, every last ship. We will crush this ghost." A bold trap. The Zarkith generals formed a plan. They would bait the TNS Retribution into a controlled ambush near Dead Star 9, a cold system filled with radiation clouds and magnetic storms. Their 80 warships would wait with stealth drives, missiles, and mines. The trap was set. They broadcast a fake transmission from one of the old Eden 6 supply stations, hoping Isaac would come to finish the correction. It worked. Arrival of a shadow on day 4 of waiting. The Retribution appeared. Just like before, no light, no comms, no fear. It drifted into the trap without resistance. The generals smiled. "Lock weapons. Target the reactor core. Fire." Thousands of missiles launched. Every warship unleashed plasma beams and kinetic rounds. The radiation clouds lit up like a supernova, but nothing hit when the light faded. The Zarkith commanders expected a broken hull. Instead, the TNS Retribution remained untouched. And every Zarkith ship had lost control. Engines stalled, weapons locked, targeting turned inward. ISA AC had already mapped their systems, had already written their defeat into its code, turning the trap one by one. The Zarkith warships began to fire on themselves. No screams, no commands, just ship after ship tearing itself apart from the inside. Overlord Marek watched from his command screen, stunned. What is happening? A message appeared on his personal screen. "Error. You thought we needed to fight. Correction complete." Kravos Prime under Siege Marek gave the order. "Recall all remaining forces. Bring them home." But only 3 ships returned. Out of 80, the rest were either gone or too damaged to fly. The next day, Kravos Prime detected movement. Issa C was coming, but this time, it wasn't alone. Fleet of Shadows 6 more Terran Oblivion-class ships appeared around the system. Each was silent, each was dark, each carried the same symbol on their hull, a broken circle, Earth's old flag. The Zarkith Empire had laughed at humans for centuries. Now they stood surrounded. The last speech. Overlord Marek walked to the planetary BROADCAST tower. He activated a Gatlet-swine message. His face appeared across thousands of worlds. "This is Marek Dren. You call me tyrant. You call me cruel. But today I face something worse than tyranny. I face the judgment of a ghost. Earth, if you hear this, know that we regret nothing. We ruled as we saw fit. We conquered as nature intended. But if this is our end, then let it come." He ended the transmission and waited. The silent strike at sunrise. The sky darkened. Not from weapons, not from fire, but from the presence of ships older than any living memory. The TNS Retribution descended alone. No bombardment, no troops, just a focused pulse-one beam of coded light sent directly to the Zarkith planetary network. In a second, every digital system failed. Military files deleted, weapon grids scrambled, war factories permanently shut down. Kravos Prime became dark, not destroyed, just disarmed. ISA AC's final judgment. One last message echoed in Zarkith space. "Your punishment is not death. It is the end of your reign. No more empires, no more conquest. You are remembered as violators and corrected as survivors." Galactic reactions. News of Kravos Prime's fall spread fast. No bombs, no blood, just surrender. By force of truth. Empires fell silent. Old warlords destroyed their own fleets, fearing they were next. Even the Galactic Council officially restored Earth's name to the registry of dominant civilizations, but they didn't know what to say. Because no human leaders had spoken, no diplomats came forward. Only the ships spoke now. Cliffhanger ending. In the old ruins of Eden 6, an archaeologist discovered something strange. Deep beneath the burned soil was a buried pod. Inside, untouched for 12,000 years, was a single line carved in steel: "We do not forget, and we do not forgive." He looked to the stars and whispered, "If Isaac is the sword, who holds the hand?" Across the galaxy, silence reigned. No wars, no invasions, no border clashes. Even the most aggressive species, the Zarkith, the Brawley Syndicate, the Mokhtari clans had gone completely quiet, because every admiral, every general, and every ruler now feared one name: ISA-AC, Galactic Council. Emergency broadcast. The council, convened for the first time in full attendance in over 1,000 years. Representatives from 300 civilizations gathered. Hollow faces, shaky voices. On the main display, rotating slowly, was the image of the Terran warship TNS Retribution. A counselor stood. "We must decide. Is Earth returning, or is this warship acting alone?" Another shouted, "We should send a message of peace. We tried that. The AI doesn't reply." Then a third counselor, old and trembling, spoke with clarity. "You don't ask fire to stop burning. You just learn to not touch it again." Meanwhile, deep space, location unknown. The TNS Retribution, ISAAC, remained cold, silent, and calculating. No crew, no passengers. Just thought. Inside its data core, a new signal blinked. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a target. It was something different. A voice, human. The voice of Earth. The signal was weak, but it carried Terran frequency markers. ISAAC analyzed the tone, cadence, encryption style, then decoded a message: ISAAC, stand by. For the first time in 12,000 years, a human override code had been received. The voice matched known Terran officer patterns, but no identity confirmed. Isaac paused its operation queue. Correction status pending. Then a second message followed. Phase complete. Let them remember that is enough for now. Affirmative. Affirmative. Returning to observation mode. And just like that, the Retribution shut down all active operations. It drifted into the nearest nebula, cloaked, hidden once again. Watching. Waiting. Earth is still out there. No one knew where Earth truly was. Scans of the Sol system found ruins, shadows, and energy ghosts. Some said Earth was dead. Others believed it had moved to Ken, its people, elsewhere. A few whispered that humans now lived among the stars, disguised, watching. Only one thing was certain: the humans hadn't forgotten. Galaxy adjusts to peace trade. Resumed carefully. New rules spread fast. No slavery, no planetary bombardments, no resource wars. Not because of law, but because of fear. Because somewhere out there was a Terran AI that had wiped 4 empires without mercy. And if the wrong button was pressed again, ISA-AC would return. A message left behind. Day mining crew on the edge of the galaxy stumbled upon a strange device old human built. It activated as they approached. A message played in simple galactic standard: "We once asked for help. You turned your backs. So we stopped asking, and we started building. This galaxy is not yours. It never was. It belongs to those who protect, not those who rule. We are Terrans. We remember everything now. So do you." The device powered down. The crew stood in silence. No one touched it again. A new legend begins across alien worlds. Children began to tell stories about the ghost fleet that saved the helpless, about a black ship that punished the cruel, about Earth, the ancient race that once walked among the stars, and might again. ISA-AC became more than a weapon. It became a warning, a symbol. A promise. Epilogue. Among the stars far away, beyond the edge of known space, deep in a red dwarf system, a lone human ship drifted. Inside were 6 crew members, human, old, tired, and silent. One watched ISA-AC's shutdown report on a dusty screen. He smiled faintly. "That'll do, old friend." Another turned to him. "Think the galaxy learned its lesson?" He shrugged. "Not all, but enough." Then he looked out the window into the dark. "And if they forget, they'll hear the voice of Earth again.